Welcome to this week's Crusader Coaches Show. I'm Mike Stetson, your host, the Sports Information Director, and today we're joined by head golf coach and assistant athletic director Craig Stensgaard. Craig, thanks for joining us today.
You bet.
Men's golf team, one more event left in the fall. Women's golf team's all done for the fall season. Talk a little bit about how things have been going so far this fall for the golfers.
Well, pretty well. We'll start with on the ladies' side. Played at the St. Martin's University Invitational and then at the Dixie State Tournament last weekend. Some steady improvement. Have one player battling some injuries, so have kind of mixed the lineup up a little bit in both of the events. So that's been a little bit of a bummer for her, but I think she'll be bounced back and ready for the springtime. Last week had consistent results from both Haley and Sam in the about 80-80 and 80-81, so pretty steady down in St. George. And Carly Sturm had a really good final round, shot 83 on last Tuesday, and so she finished her fall really strong, and that just kind of propels them into the off-season workouts and preparing for the spring season. So,
folks who may pay attention or may not, the third season for the women's team, we've seen a lot of growth, some records last year for the team, and at the top of the group, a lot of consistency. How pleased are you with the way the women's team is developing into a pretty good squad?
Yeah, I mean it's been not necessarily a surprise, but it has been we've really enjoyed the fact that the ladies, their scoring averages are slowly creeping down. We really have 4 players that can shoot under 84 any given day, and a couple that should be consistently in the 70s. So from a third-year perspective, especially if we measure it against other teams in the region, there's Hawaii Pacific. There's several teams that are under 5 years old, and in comparison to them, we're really doing well, and so that's very encouraging.
Talk about the men's team a little bit. I think the thing that's most notable about the men's team is the consistency across the board with the front 5 or 6 that have been playing. It seems like it's hard to pick who's number one, and they all are shooting right around par or just 1 or 2 over par.
Yeah, in fact, it's great. The consistency is great. We're trying to break that up a little bit. We'd like it to not be so great. We joke with them that one of you is scared to break out and just be better than everyone else. So what and with golf, we are constantly pushing towards trying to break through those maybe their mental barriers, maybe their physical barriers that hamper a kid from, instead of shooting 73, shooting 69 or 68, especially when at some point in their round they are 3 or 4 under. And so that's one of the things we've been working on actually quite a bit in this last month as we prep for our last tournament in about a week and a half when we go over to Hawaii Hilo's event, is kind of trying to continue to break through those barriers to let those low rounds come through. We had such momentum coming off of the springtime last year that I think there's actually probably been some disappointment on our team from some of the finishes where we've been, middle of the pack to maybe the top of the bottom third of the pack. The expectations are pretty high for the boys.
Talk about last spring. How much fun was everything that went into that? I mean, you definitely got a lot of hype on campus and a lot of congratulations. So it's a big event.
Yeah, it was great. No doubt it was an upset when we won, and then to bring the hardware back, and then kind of all the things that come with that over the last, maybe the month and a half that follows. It certainly helps recruiting, and it also just changes the mentality of the players and what their expectation is. This year we had very, very singular goals into what the guys want to accomplish at the end of the springtime. And along with that comes a little bit of weight on their shoulders. So I think this fall they felt that a little bit, which is a good thing, and it continues to motivate them, especially into this last event where there's going to be a great field in Hawaii, and that'll be a good way to end our fall season and push into those off-season workouts.
I know everyone hates to see teams having to head to Hawaii.
Yeah,
what a tough trip.
Well, it can be a tough trip because we've talked for 6 or 8 months since we decided to go, that not only their commitment to raise money to go to that tournament, but the concept that the first 3 days, or actually the first 4 days of a 5-day trip are work. Many teams go to Hawaii and play very poorly, and I feel like it's sometimes a lack of preparation where our guys understand that we're there to play, and they're going to have half of a day when we finish the final round. They'll have half a day, and they'll have the next day before we take the red eye home on the weekend to enjoy themselves, and we'll take them around, do a little touristy stuff. But the bottom line is we have to play golf, and that's why we're going.
So that ends at end of the month. That will end the fall season. Then 3.5 months, 4 months until the spring starts. Expectations for the spring, knowing that the fall does count as far as regional rankings and potential for nationals, but you definitely have to tune up in the spring because that's championship time.
Yeah, the golf, Division II golf is all about the head-to-head. It doesn't really matter what your scores are at each event. It matters who you beat at that event. So, if the wind is blowing, the scores are high, it doesn't matter because you're playing head-to-head. It's almost like a baseball record. It's a win-loss versus just strokes. So every time you go into an event, obviously, it sounds kind of obvious to say your goal is to finish as high as you can, but there's more to it, as every team that you're playing against counts as a head-to-head win or loss. And we set up our schedule very, very purposefully as far as the events we're going to and who we'll see at each event, to try and get head-to-head wins over the West Region teams. So we start off down in Livermore, California, and there's a purpose for going to that event. And every time we tee it up, we kind of have a goal in mind on who we need to be beating that event to give ourselves a chance to be in the discussion when it comes to regional selection time.
How tough is it to have that 4-month or 3-month layoff for these kids when a lot of times they won't be able to be out on a course and they have to practice on the putting green in here?
Yeah. I actually think it's an advantage. I have many friends that coach all over the nation, and there are a lot of teams that when it gets down to the 1st of April, the kids are just burned out, and they don't. Their motivation is a little bit iffy at that point. And with our players, we'll take from November 2nd to about the 15th just totally off and let the kids just do nothing at all. And then we'll start into the off-season hours that the NCAA allows, which is primarily strength and conditioning in the fall. Our weather's been so great, I'm sure they'll be outside the hours that they can be. But then when we come back from Christmas break, last year, the day before classes started, I had 3 kids inside hitting balls in an indoor facility, and they're just itching to get back outside. So the motivation for us kind of recharges itself over Christmas break, where some of the warm weather schools, they're playing on their own every day, and they get a little burnt by the end of the season. So I actually don't mind it, and our kids think it's a little bit of an advantage.
Well, I appreciate you joining us today.
You bet.
Good luck with the rest of the fall season, and hopefully a couple more trophies come this spring.
That'd be great. I got a spot on my desk for them.
Thanks. The Crusader volleyball team wrapped up a 4-match homestand, hosting St. Martin's on Thursday night and Western Oregon on Saturday night. The Crusaders won both matches in 3 sets, with Kendra Bodine leading the way Thursday with 12 kills and Andrea Terpstra
and Taylor Van Vele recording 10 kills each Saturday night. Michelle Terpstra had 32 assists in both matches, and Taylor Roberts had 12 digs Thursday and 15 digs on Saturday for NNU.
We're here with junior women's soccer player Lexi Fesenbek. She is coming off a 2-assist weekend that tied her for the single-season school record in assists, has 10 on the season, so congratulations on matching a record. Talk a little bit about how this season's going. It's been a fairly strong season for the ladies so far.
I think this year we've had like our ups and downs, but it's definitely a lot better from last season. I think Mary has really helped us to be like more positive, and I think we're more competitive this year in how we go against the teams, and we're just playing better overall.
How nice is it? I know last year it was kind of you and Kelsey Martin were the majority of the offense. How nice is it that you have so many weapons offensively this year, and Kelsey has been hurt all year, so you even have more when she comes back?
Yeah, it's nice because I definitely would not have this many assists unless people were finishing them. So, and it's not just one person finishing them, like our whole team is contributing to it.
How nice is, I know it's a team sport and you don't worry about the individual records, but that's going to kind of be nice that your name is going to be stamped on the program for quite a while probably because of the record.
Yeah, I honestly did not know that I was even close to the record. Mary actually waited until I had tied it to tell me that I had tied it, and I honestly, that's never happened to me before. Like at other schools, like I've been close to records, but never like actually having my name be up there.
Talk about this coming weekend. You have St. Martin's and Western Oregon coming in. Western Oregon's ahead of you in the standings, and you guys are still in playoff contention. So these are kind of playoff games. So how excited are you guys to kind of a playoff atmosphere this weekend?
I think we know that if we want to continue on, we have to win. So we have to play to like the best of our ability. So it'll be interesting to see like how we do with that pressure on us.
And you get 4 games at home against these teams. How nice is that you don't have to travel, that you get to have them come here and, kind of set the tone for big games?
Yeah, we always play better when we're at home, so hopefully when they come, like, we play our best and everything should be in our favor because we're at home and we're sleeping in our own beds and eating our regular food.
Obviously, people are going to look at last year and see the improvement this year, but how nice has it been as a team for you guys to be seeing hard work pay off with good results?
It's a lot more like last year we definitely like played well, but we didn't really get the wins. And this year we're actually playing well and getting the wins, so it's a lot more like it just feels better because you're not just getting the moral win, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're a junior. A lot of the players on the team, sophomore, freshman. I think you will lose 2 players from this year's team. Expectations have to be high for the future, too.
Yeah, because we are really considered a young team, and I don't know, it'll be nice because Mary, like all of her recruits have been amazing this year, and they've come in and stepped up a lot, and like I don't even know how many are starting freshmen right now, and usually that's not like possible for freshmen to do, but I don't know.
I have to ask you about the speed. Have you always been that fast? I mean, you're the fastest person out on the field. It's amazing to watch you take off and chase down balls. So, have you always been that fast?
Yeah, my dad was really fast, and that's where I got it from. So.
Well, it's fun to watch you. We've been enjoying this season. I appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much.
Thank
Good luck
you.
this weekend.